Okay, normally the Raw after a pay-per-view is kind of poor, and it's just a lot of recap. With this one, the nice thing was they had some really solid wrestling too. The opening intro with Punk was pretty good. I think going right into the match with Del Rio and Ryder, not a bad match, not really a great match. You can tell the crowd is ridiculously behind Ryder. But we're not probably going to see Ryder take on Ziggler and Ryder become champion with the way they're currently kind of booking it. And of course, Del Rio pretty much did a pretty decent job and dominated most of the match. And got the victory over Ryder. The match they had with Sheamus and Swagger, pretty good. You can tell they don't quite have chemistry, but a nice, solid, brutal match with two big guys in it. Really good. The match that took place between Cody Rhodes and Santino was very much a squash match. I'm glad they took my advice and you put a match in between those two. That's a solid match. It's pretty good. It gives you a decent amount of filler between those two. Punk and Ziggler was a ridiculous match. Great back and forth. However, they did a minor botch at the ending. Just a minor botch. You can tell that Ziggler ran a little bit too fast at Punk, and Punk just couldn't hold on to him. But that match was fantastic. The Divas had some segment where they talked about crying or something. I don't care. Nice promo for the return of Kane. They showed Kane both with the kind of black towel that he wore for a while, then his mask on fire. Could be interesting. And they also had this little thing in the bottom corner where they normally have, but who's trending, who cares? And it was for a YouTube user, said it begins 2012. Normally when they've done those things in the past, it's almost always been Jericho. So I'm hoping we'll get to see Jericho versus Punk, which would be a fantastic match at Mania, period. I would rather see that match than Cena and Rock. The altercation between Cody Rhodes and Booker T. They mentioned Booker T wants to have one last decent run. He basically wants to feud with Rhodes. Someone else has mentioned they want to feud with Rhodes. And then of course it's Rhodes. Goldust. That could be a pretty decent match too. Not quite a Mania-worthy match. You know, where Goldust takes on Cody. It's got a lot of beautiful background to it. I don't think it's quite a Mania match though. Barrett and Kofi, pretty decent. I like that they're trying to have Barrett and Orton go at it. That's going to be a really good feud. Barrett is really starting to catch some fire. Which is weird because he had a lot going when he was leader of Nexus. And then when Nexus folded, he kind of went nowhere. And he went nowhere fast. He went from feuding with Cena to going absolutely, completely, and totally nowhere. It's really sad. The show's little, Big Show's little bit was pretty good. You know, seeing Show do a top rope move again was fantastic. I haven't seen that since his days in WCW, where ironically he was yelled at for hitting a moonsault. But he hit a beautiful moonsault off like the top rope. If you can find it on YouTube, it is ridiculous to watch. The Kevin Nash mini promo, from a nostalgia standpoint, not bad. I'm glad they don't have Nash walk to the ring to do a promo. It would take him too long and he might get injured. But I really don't want to see Nash take on Edge. I really don't. We've seen that match before the last time Nash came back and they were feuding with each other. And it was okay. It should have been a lot better. But this time around, I just don't see it being anywhere near as good. You know, period. Then John Cena came down and pretty much recapped the whole ending of the Survivor Series. And I'm glad that he acknowledged that the WWE fans are awesome because we will chant about a breakfast cereal, which is pretty good. And then Awesome Truth came out to save this promo. And then John turned them against each other, and it went off the air with Awesome Truth kind of dissolving. Awesome Truth is good for the following reasons. It helped keep The Miz in a main event sort of focus, without having had the title involved or a one-on-one match involved. And it's been the most entertaining R-Truth has been since he was K-Quick teamed up with the Road Dogg. Yes. And from his first run in TNA. So it seems kind of weird to break those two guys up, because I really thought after the match those two had with Cena and The Rock, they should entirely have gone after the tag belts. But with Evan Bourne currently being out because he failed a drug test, Kofi kind of just walks away without the tag belt, with just a tag belt and no partner. So not a bad brawl. I like how next week we're going to see Del Rio take on Punk. Should be a pretty solid match. Those two actually have decent chemistry. But then again, it's Punk. Punk could wrestle a garbage bag and make it a main event worthy match. And not a hefty garbage bag, like a cheap generic one that tears really easily. And make it look fantastic. I also want to give a belated birthday wish to, I guess it'd be Wrestling Animal 797. Now, I'm assuming from the 797, either you're born in 79 or 97. If you're born in 79, congratulations, so was I. So, with that, not a bad Raw, pretty decent. I'm glad Punk won the title. It actually shows a glimmer of hope and the idea that it could be a transition to better and brighter things. All we gotta do now is get a John Laurinaitis, and I think we'd be pretty well set.